dramatic music. Gets the adrenaline flowing.
You gotta love it.
You gotta love it. It's something. You go to most concerts, there's nothing to do. Come here, you can run around, slam against people, have the best time of your life.
Entombed.
It's
a heavy band. Obituary.
The problem
it's an abundant amount of bands right now because death metal is growing. Most of the bands will weed themselves out after a while, and the more established bands will stick around. Fast drumming, real crunchy guitars, and heavy vocals, you know. Pretty much, you know, the vocals and the lyrical content have a lot to do with the death metal sound. You know, there's bands that are grindcore that, you know, have a little different sound, but some people might say they're death metal. So it's basically all in the listeners. You know, like Jack said, you might consider something death metal, another person might not. But as for everybody out there, we're death metal. Grindcore is a little more of like a hardcore edge to it, you know. They sing a little bit more about politically involved lyrics and things like that. They really don't dwell on horror or anything like that, or Satanism. So I think, you know, that pretty much separates the two. It's just, you know, a lot of power involved in these type of vocals, and a lot of people, they don't think there's too much talent in it. You know, they just kind of think that people are, you know, just barking vocals out or whatever, not even basically singing any words. But I do try to get every single lyric I write into my my singing style. So we try to keep it up. Once everybody gets their own style, I think, you know, death metal will definitely be an established form of music that people will know and grow to love. Seattle's got that, whatever, their new Renaissance, whatever. Yeah. And Florida's got death metal, and New York City's got serious hardcore, and you know, it's different all around the country, and people are just starting to mix together, so there's more people of each at shows. You know?
You have your own style, you'll stand out, even if you go to more sound.
I mean, the reason for going to more sound is just because it's the best studio in the world for this type of music, and there's no one better than Scott Burns to produce records, you know. On a personal basis and on a business level, he's the greatest producer on earth as far as I'm concerned. And as for this band, I don't think we're ever going to record anywhere else. So, I mean, to all those people that say it's trendy to record at More Sound, they're basically they just have no knowledge of what's there.
Yeah, that's right. Florida has been the mecca for death metal, and especially with guru Scott Burns, who we've got right now on the line via the telephone from Tampa, Florida. Hi, Scott. How are you doing?
Good, Teresa. How are you?
Thanks for being on the show today. A lot of people know about you, a lot of death metal fans, and don't know your work, and I wanted to know what you're producing right now. Who are you working with?
Well, we just finished Obituary, and I'm still working on the new Deicide album.
Oh, yeah? How does that sounding?
It's pretty brutal. Should be a killer record.
How's the production on it? Has it been improving?
Yeah, I think it should sound better than the first one. You know, Glenn's changed his vocal style some. It's a little lower, a little heavier. The songs are a little faster. Steve blasts more. It should be really good.
Faster, huh? Okay, Scott, what I want to know is, how do you think death metal came into being? What do you think it came out of, and how do you see it changing in the next couple of years?
I don't know. It probably came from bands like Motorhead and Venom and stuff that was on the fringe of metal, you know, back in, you know, later 70s, beginning of the early 80s.
But why? Why did it go in, you know, such a more brutal route?
I don't know. I just think, ever since Elvis or whatever, kids always want something a little more and a little more. And, I mean, this is, based on metal, and just like Sabbath, how they were, extreme band at their time. I mean, things just, even Metallica was extreme for their time when they first came out. And I think as things progress on, just things become more extreme, and, people look for something more over the top each time, and death metal happens to be it right now.
So what's going to top death metal? I mean, can you think of something?
Death metal, it's going to top polka metal. I don't know, accordions and I don't know what'll top. It'll be, I'm sure it'll refine itself, and but who knows? I mean, there'll be some other form of extreme music, and maybe it won't be metal for a while. Maybe it'll go back to some type of alternative punk or hardcore scene, and then, it'll revert to metal again. I mean, I think the scene might change or whatever. I mean, industrial types of music and metal seem to be melting right now. Bands like Godflesh and stuff like that, and, Ministries tended to become more metal. Maybe that'll take a, form.
A root.
Yeah.
Scott, what do you think about people that criticize death metal? I'm not talking about, a parent who knows nothing about the music and just catches on to the lyrics one day and realizes what they're saying, but people that are in the music industry and may say, they may be afraid that, sometimes kids who are already prone to violence may go over the top with, some of these lyrics or their involvement with the bands. Do you think that at all, and what do you think about those criticisms?
I think it's probably, not so true, because I think, it's a healthy thing. Kids just want, some type of outlet. We're all looking for something, and, it releases a little aggression, and it's a safe way to do it. I mean, I think kids that are have problems would have problems whether they listen to death metal or not. I mean, if you were, it's just like a person who has a dependency problem with drugs or alcohol. I mean, take it to another thing with music. I mean, just that person has a problem, and I don't think you can say that music causes anything. I mean, some things may be related to it, but it's the person that has the problem. It's not the music, and I mean, nobody forced him to listen to a record or whatever he may say.
Okay, Scott. Scott, I'm going to have to go now. I could chat with you for a few minutes longer, but we're out of time here.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you, Teresa.
Keep working on those records and send us news of what's happening.
Okay.
Catch you later.
Thank you.
Okay, that's it. Just about wraps it up here for